How many times have we eaten cereal but never thought twice about it? Well, believe it or not, you can find some cool physics in that little ball of energy if you just look a little closer. If you haven't noticed, cereal tends to cling together in the middle of the bowl or even at the sides. This is caused by a scientific phenomenon called the Cheerio Effect. This phenomenon is not exclusive to cereal. It also reveals itself in the way particles move in air, as well as how galaxies cluster in space. So, what exactly is the Cheerio Effect? Let's take a look.
You'll notice that cereal is naturally buoyant and being less dense than the milk it displaces, can float. You'll also notice that when you put cereal in milk, it tends to stick together in clumps. Now look closer and you'll see that the surface between the edge of the cereal and the liquid is curved up. This also happens at the sides of the bowl thanks to the meniscus effect. So what makes this happen? Well, water molecules are clingy and love to stick together. They are attracted not only to each other, but also to the edges of cereal and to the sides of the containers. This attraction creates a U-shaped surface called a meniscus. It is at the highest point of the meniscus that buoyant objects are pushed up. This is why cereal tends to clump together and cling to the edges of bowls. This phenomenon has its place in nature as well. Water striders, often called nature's Cheerios, are insects that walk and jump on water. Covered in tiny hydrophobic hairs, their bodies naturally repel water, while the hairs on their legs trap air bubbles, increasing their buoyancy. As a result, not only can water striders float, but they can also carry a load 15 times the body weight without sinking. Another species of insects, called water treaders, can also walk in water, but they do so by exploiting surface tension in what we call the inverted Cheerio effect. While they have no problems underwater, climbing the meniscus to get out is a challenge. Gravity constantly pushes them into the depressions under their feet. So rather than climbing the meniscus, they curve the water up by arching their bodies and lifting their front and back ends. In doing so, they are pulled to the edge, which enables them to go on dry land. This inverted Cheerio effect can also be seen in how paper clips act on milk. Paper clips, unlike Cheerios, are too dense to be buoyant, but they can float if placed carefully on milk because of surface tension. The water molecules in milk stick to each other, forming a thin membrane strong enough to hold them up. Unlike Cheerios, what is formed is a downward curved meniscus. And since paper clips are heavier than milk, they tend to slide down the meniscus, but can only do so near a second paper clip. When I combined both paper clips and Cheerios in a bowl, I noticed something interesting. No matter what I did, I couldn't get the Cheerios and the paper clips to stick together. They kept repelling each other, similar to magnets with like poles. Why is this, you wonder? Well, that's because buoyant objects are surrounded by a downward-facing meniscus, while objects that are heavier than milk are surrounded by an upward-facing meniscus. Therefore, paper clips and Cheerios naturally repel each other, since the liquid around them are curved in different directions. In 2010, Clark University's Aisha Kudruli and Michael Bahanu published a paper in Physical Review Letters describing this phenomenon and its implications for galaxy clusters. According to them, stars come together in galaxies the way Cheerios bunch together in clusters. These clusters, joined together by long thin filaments of superheated gas, group together to form superclusters. The result, a huge cosmic web of gravitationally linked walls of galaxies, interspersed with large voids of space. As these clusters and superclusters evolved, and as the universe expanded after the Big Bang, the clumps and threads of primordial matter that followed cooled down and condensed into the galaxies we have today. So, the next time you have breakfast and look down at a bowl of cereal, remember, a whole universe may have once been created by a scientific phenomenon we call the Cheerio Effect.